Hi everyone, my name is Madame Viv and this is the Astrology Report. Today I'm going to be talking about the partial solar eclipse in Aries that occurred on March 28th at 11:57 a.m. at 8 degrees. We're going to start off with what an eclipse is because, as I said, this was a partial solar eclipse, but also a new moon in Aries. So, very interesting. An eclipse is a pathway or a portal that brings about fated and destined events to our lives. They occur in twos, and their effects can be felt up to 6 months after their occurrence. Now, what is a new moon? A new moon brings new beginnings, new chapters, and new cycles. Things end for something beautiful to begin. As I said before, the new moon occurred in Aries as a partial solar eclipse at 11:57 a.m. at 8 degrees. 8 degrees is a Scorpio degree representing transformation, rebirth, death, shared resources, intimacy and sex, pregnancy and birth. Now we're going to talk about the sign of Aries. Aries is a sign that is ruled by the planet Mars. And Aries, the qualities of an Arian is you're bold, you're impulsive, you're childlike, you're intuitive, you're instinctive, you're truthful, you're honest, you're blunt, you're expressive, you're a leader, you're courageous, okay? So these are the qualities of an Aries individual. Now, if we put everything together, it's been an eclipse, it's been a new moon, the sign of Aries and its qualities, and the degree of 8 degrees. What themes can we expect? I've written a list, so listen. We can expect new beginnings in the house Aries rules in your natal chart. As I mentioned before, a house represents themes or aspects of your life. As I mentioned before, a house in your natal chart represents a specific theme or aspect of your life. For example, your third house represents your mind and your communication skills, or the seventh house would represent partnerships and business contracts and marriages, etc. So that's what a house is. Now, with the house that Aries rules in your natal chart, you could experience fated endings that incite transformations in the house Aries rules. Okay, so that's one. The second point is you'd experience an increase in instinct and intuition. You find yourself trusting them more. You find out that you're sharper than usual. And I can attest to that. Yes, this eclipse took place on March 28th, but you're still feeling the effects. So it doesn't matter when I release this report. What matters is that these themes I'm expressing, think back and think about whether or not you found these changes occurring in your life. My next point is you would experience new opportunities for leadership and authenticity, possible promotions and advancements in that area of your life that Aries rules. Next point, showing up as you are, embracing your full self and attracting aligned people to you. Then, being more assertive and passionate and sharper in speech, setting boundaries and honoring them. Has anybody experienced that? Because I have, and it's been beautiful. You'd also experience fated meetings, opportunities, and events that lead to positive progress in whatever aspect of your house Aries is in. This could mean people wanting to share their resources with you for your progress. That's nice and that's very important. Another point is you find yourself becoming more active, needing to move, having more energy, exercising and creating, diving into passion projects. And the last point that I wrote here was being the first to do something, embracing being a pioneer and trailblazer in specific aspects of your life, which is true. Aries is a leader, a trailblazer. They do things that other people haven't done. Where are you feeling the call to embrace doing something different? Or where are you being called to be more authentic? And that's in a way that other people have not seen before. Be the blueprint, okay? The next section is the journal prompts. So get your books ready. I'm starting with the first prompt. What bold action have I been avoiding and what's holding me back from taking the first step? Aries energy encourages courage and decisive movement. This prompt helps you to uncover internal roadblocks and prepare for breakthroughs. So, what bold action have I been avoiding and what's holding me back from taking the first step? Very important. For me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I have a bold action I've been avoiding apart from, and that's the first thing that came to my mind, cussing people the fuck out. I thought that was something that I was looking forward to doing or something that I would like to do, but now I realize that my anger is so expensive. If I'm not cussing you out, I'm cutting you off. So I think that that's okay. So what's been holding me back from taking the first step? I think this is based on my past self. This is not who I am now. Rocking the boat, really, really causing people to open their eyes and be like, oh my gosh, this girl is not who I thought she was. Just giving people a rude awakening. It's not like I don't want to or I didn't want to in the past. It's just that I just didn't have the emotional bandwidth for that because I thought that I had to carry people's emotions, when they react to certain things I do, but I don't because I'm nobody's fucking mom. And I'm sorry that I'm swearing during this astrology report, but literally, this is me in Aries energy, and this is where I'm at. Okay. So, one more time, what bold action have you been avoiding and what's holding you back from taking the first step? The next prompt is, how do I want to redefine my identity and show up more authentically in the world? Oof, I love this. Eclipses signal transformation. This question guides you to explore new versions of yourselves. Okay. So I will answer as well. How do I want to redefine my identity and show up more authentically in the world? I guess it's just being more expressive, but also not being so open. You can be expressive, but people still don't know things about you. I feel as though I just want to show up as who I truly am in a way or in a place or in place of the mindset that I used to have where I felt like you had to show up in this world with a mask on. That's not true. You can show up as your true self and have mechanisms in place for when that self is challenged or when there's conflict with that new self due to the environment around you being uncomfortable. All right, it's important because you don't want to bury your true identity for acceptance because it doesn't gain or it doesn't profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul. Very important. So, one more time, how do I want to redefine my identity and show up more authentically in the world? Very important. The next prompt, if fear wasn't a factor, what risks would I take in the next 6 months? Ooh, that's a good one, right? Because Aries is fearless. This prompt challenges you to dream big and step into your power. If fear wasn't a factor, what risks would I take in the next 6 months? Honestly, I'm not going to lie, fear isn't a factor for the next 6 months for me in the sense that all I want to do is expand on everything that I'm doing. So let's say there was fear. If I wanted to answer this question, let's say there was fear of being seen. I would remove that fear and allow myself to be seen in my entirety if it meant expanding my businesses in all aspects, expanding my services in all aspects. I'm making a lot of money. And genuinely, as I just said, fear isn't a factor. I already plan on doing more than I've been doing before in order to achieve and attain what it is I want to attain in this life. So yeah. The next prompt. Where in my life do I need to be more selfish in a healthy way? Aries energy is about putting yourself first. This prompt helps you to reflect on boundaries and self prioritization. So, where do I need to be more selfish in a healthy way? I'm not sure I can relate to this because I'm already selfish in a healthy way. So, I'll give an example for somebody that I think for somebody that is a people pleaser, you tend to put other people's needs before you. It will be time to start putting yourself first in situations, putting your feelings first, your desires and needs first, and explain what it's like to be selfish. Explain what it's like to shock people when you are not being self-serving. Oh no, self-sacrificing, but self-serving. Hello. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. So let me say it one more time. Where in my life do I need to be more selfish in a healthy way? All right. Then the next prompt, what boundaries do I need to set and why? Aries is outspoken and expressive. They don't do what they don't want to do. They're expressive with their boundaries and with their needs and their wants, which is why this prompt has been written down for you. What boundaries do I need to set and why? A boundary could be not expressing or no. A boundary could be not telling everybody what is going on in your life, keeping your business to yourself, being open with people, but not to the point where they know the details of your life. Another boundary could be letting people know that they don't have the right to tell you how to live your life because their limitations are not your limitations. Their way of doing things are not your way of doing things. So boundaries could just be putting people in their place and letting people know where you truly stand. Okay. The last prompt, where do I need to be more assertive? As I've said before, Aries is an outspoken, expressive sign and extremely assertive and bold when communicating. Where do you lack that in your life? And where do you need to be more of that? It's very interesting because assertion is such a beautiful thing. especially when you're somebody that is used to being quiet. I don't take people being quiet as people being pushovers. A lot of times people are quiet because of how, what's the right word? How fiery and bold and, how scary the no nonsense version of themselves is. Okay. So where do I need to be more assertive? Very important question. And those are all the prompts. Answer them. And if you'd like to let me know what your answers were, you can find us on Twitter at It's Vivacious Viv or Perspective with Viv. On Instagram, Perspective with Viv. TikTok, Perspective with Viv. Yeah. Find us there, talk to us. Or on Spotify, you can leave your answers in the comments. That'll be very nice. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to take a short break and then I'll return with the tarot reading. Thank you. Hi, so I'm back with the tarot reading. Please sit back and relax while I give you a short reading, and you can find the longer version on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel's name is Perspective with Viv. All right, thank you. So, from left to right, we have the Eight of Wands clarified by the Justice, then the Ace of Swords clarified by the Devil in reverse, then the Three of Pentacles clarified by the Ten of Cups. And for the overall energy, we have the Ten of Wands reverse clarified by the Star reverse. So, let's begin. Immediately, Eight of Wands represents fast movement, fast transition. This eclipse is bringing you fast movement and transition into the next chapter of your life. As I said, eclipses have effects that can be felt up to 6 months afterwards. And if you're having two eclipses, you're going to be feeling the effects for the next year. What are you going to do with this energy? Eight of Wands is saying, okay, you're moving, you're shifting, it's fast. And for some, it may involve travel, it may also involve higher education. Maybe you're traveling to further your education in another university. So that's something interesting that could come up for some people. All right. The card that clarifies this Eight of Wands is the Justice card. So you are going to be experiencing fast movement into a new chapter of your life, right? And this new chapter is going to be a chapter that has balance and harmony as the theme. Any conflicts that you have, whether externally or internally, is going to be resolved. Any imbalances that you have in your life are going to be balanced. Karmic justice is also going to be something that you're going to obtain, because that's what I love about eclipses. They bring you gifts, and it's also almost always karmic gifts. That is why the energy of an eclipse has to do with fated events and destined events. The thing that you're meant to have, the thing that you're destined to have, whether it's a reward or whether it's a punishment, you're going to attain it, because life is all about balance. What you've put out, you're going to be obtaining in this new era, because it is a new era. All right. So justice represents that. And for some, in terms of karmic justice, it may mean this leap from a particular status to another status, or a higher status. It can mean up level. For others, it may also mean demotion. It may also mean ostracizing or ostracization. Thank you. So I'll move on and then I'll dive deeper in the video on YouTube. Then we have the Ace of Swords. So with this new beginning, because an ace represents new beginning. With this new beginning, as I said, where there's fast movement and there's a transition, you are going to be victorious in speaking your truth and in having those clarifying conversations as prompted by the Justice card. All right. So don't be afraid to be assertive. Don't be afraid to set those boundaries. Don't be afraid to be honest. All right. The card that clarifies the Ace of Swords is the Devil in reverse. Now, maybe in the past, you allowed fears to hold you back, because the devil in reverse talks about how now you're going to be letting go of those fears. You're going to be letting go of toxic behaviors, limiting beliefs, negative mindsets. That is what is going to bring that victory to you. That is what's going to bring that victory in terms of who you are as a person, your truth, how you speak, your authenticity, who you are as a person. It's not only about the clarifying conversations, but it's about victory in truth, in discernment, in boundaries, in embodying who you truly are. Your truth prevails because you've decided to let go of all the things that were holding you back in the first place. All right. So that's why it's good to really sit with those journal prompts. The next card is the Three of Pentacles, that speaks of collaboration. It speaks of the inner work and outer work that you've been doing. People are in awe of it. Some people are inspired by it and they are motivated by it, that they want to collaborate with you and share their resources with you so that I can move forward and progress positively. Bringing it back to the fated and destined events, that's why you find yourself meeting the right people or being in the right rooms at the right time. And people that are resourceful, people that are have great resources would be like, you know what, I want to share my blessings with you because I see what you're doing. I'm motivated and inspired by the work you're doing. And I want to add to this journey so that you can blossom, so that I can develop into something even greater because I believe in your vision. I believe in your purpose. All right. So the card that clarifies the Three of Pentacles is the Ten of Cups. As we said, the eclipses, you're going to be feeling their effects for the next year, right? These moves that you make, these decisions that you take, these collaborations or these connections that you seek to deepen, they are going to set precedents for the next 10 years of your life. All right. So, Three of Pentacles being clarified by Ten of Cups is saying that by making the right decisions on who to collaborate with and who to join in community or be in community with, you're going to be working towards emotional fulfillment and happy ever after. You're going to be working towards a life that is balanced, a life that is financially stable and emotionally abundant. Okay. It will take time. Yes, 10 years in the making, putting in the work, but by making the right decisions, by being discerning enough and being open to your blessings, these next 10 years of your life are going to lead to an abundant outcome, a happy ever after. Because 10 of Cups is a happy ever after card. You'll be emotionally fulfilled, you'll be abundant, you'll be happy, you'll be surrounded by love on a family basis, community basis, and whatever basis that it is that you're focused on, okay? Now, the overall energy is the 10 of Wands reversed, clarified by the star reversed. Now, 10 of Wands reversed talks about how you need to let go of things that are no longer serving you, attitudes that are no longer serving you, behaviors, emotional burdens from other people, people's projections, people's idea of who they want you to be, the box that people want to put you in. You need to let go of all of that. You need to let go of anything that is hindering you, distracting you, weighing on you that isn't yours. Okay. And you need to allow yourself to be free. Because by letting go of these things, you're going to allow yourself, or you're going to be able to be put in a place for receiving your wishes. That's why the star is in reverse. If the star was upright, then you'd speak of wish fulfillment, attaining what it is that you deeply desired. But right now, there are delays, and this eclipse is going to show the delays. Let go of things that are dead weights, let go of things that are heavy, that are karmic burdens of other people. Don't be involved in the issues of other people when it's not benefiting you. Don't let these things hinder you or distract you or hold you back from attaining your blessings. When you let go of these burdens, when you let go of these distractions, you are going to attain your wish fulfillment. So this eclipse is going to open your eyes and allow you to see what it is that is holding you back, what it is that you need to set boundaries around, be assertive towards, what it is that you need to move towards, that you're no longer letting fear stop you from attaining, in order to attain this emotional fulfillment and wish fulfillment that is your destiny. And that is where I'll stop. If you'd like a tarot reading from me, please DM me on all my social media platforms, okay? And for the fuller, longer version of this reading, check out my YouTube channel, Perspective with Viv. If you love this episode, please leave a comment if you're on Spotify, or reach out to us on our social media platforms, which will also be attached to the info box. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Astrology Report. My name is Madame, and I will see you next time, or you'll hear from me next time. Thank you.